A relationship breakdown is one of life's most major challenges, and there are so many unknowns. As a family solicitor, I regularly get asked for help about how to navigate the process and how to keep things amicable. There are lots of things that you can do to help make the process as smooth as possible, and today I'm going to give you a brief overview of some of the early things to be aware of, as well as the different options available to discuss how to divide your finances. It is important to say that every person's circumstances are unique, and so it is important to think carefully about your own, and if you are unsure, to take advice. There are also lots of things that I couldn't possibly cover in a short webinar today. During a relationship breakdown, it is also very common that you and your partner may be feeling different emotions and may well be at different stages of the breakup. It may be that one of you is burying your head in the sand because perhaps you're in denial, whilst the other is looking to move forward and is perhaps becoming frustrated by the time the other is taking. Recognizing where you both are in this process can really help manage your own expectations about what you can achieve and when, as it may take the other a little bit more time to adjust. It is really important that you don't open any post addressed to your partner or to snoop around in confidential documents. This can have consequences further down the line, as well as, of course, impacting the trust between you, which may already be damaged. It is also important to think about the timing of your separation. Assets can often be transferred between you and your ex-spouse or partner in the tax year of separation if you are married or in a civil partnership, without incurring tax. If, for example, you separate in March, then there is really very little time to negotiate a settlement before the end of the tax year. This won't be relevant in every case, but it is something to be mindful of. Having early, honest discussions about how you would like to handle your separation with each other, and also if you can agree on a set of behaviours that you will both try and adhere to, can really help map out the process for you. There are different rules about how assets will be divided, depending on whether you are married or in a civil partnership, compared to if you are unmarried. There are also claims that one of you may have in respect of your children. In any case, you need to be prepared to be open and honest about your finances and to provide disclosure of your assets and also the evidence to support this. So start to think about collating your financial information early. You'll both need to understand what the assets are, try and agree the values if you can, and then this will be important before you can fairly discuss how to divide them. Pension valuations, for example, can take some time to obtain, so it is helpful to start to pull this together early to avoid any further delay. Think about having some early, direct discussions to understand what the finances are, or start to prepare a schedule of assets about the property that you each own. It is also helpful to think about things like income, outgoings, your mortgage capacity, and housing requirements. Try and agree interim arrangements. For example, who will remain living in the family home, how the immediate outgoings are going to be paid, and also any arrangements for your children. Also think about if you are borrowing money from a friend or family member to meet intermediate expenses after separation, perhaps to top up the family shortfall, then think carefully about whether or not this has to be repaid. If it is your intention that it will be repaid, then make sure that it is evidenced. This may be, for example, by the friend or family member requiring a loan agreement or documentation to show when it needs to be repaid and the terms. This could help limit arguments that this is a soft loan later on and therefore one that does not need to be repaid. There are a number of ways to discuss your separation, and the first step is to try those direct discussions. If you are finding direct discussions difficult, then there are lots of other steps you can take. One starting point might be to involve a mutual third party to help facilitate discussions between you if you're finding those discussions tricky. Alternatively, there are other options available to you. This includes mediation, collaborative law, solicitor-led negotiations, arbitration, private financial dispute hearings, or ultimately, if an agreement can't be reached, then there are court proceedings. However, these should always be a last resort. We talk about the different options in the series later. I hope this provides you with a useful overview of some of the things to think about.